there, it's Mrs. Parada. We're going to continue our discussion of writing a linear equation given slope and the y-intercept. We're on page 5 of your Algebra 1 Quarter 2 notebook. So sometimes you're not given the slope, as in they don't say m equals or slope equals. You're given maybe a table of values or a couple points. Well, we know that we can calculate slope using a couple points or a couple points from a table of value. And sometimes you're not given the y-intercept specifically. You have to figure it out what the y-intercept is. So if I'm given multiple points and the y-intercept is included, I do have to find the y-intercept. And remember that the y-intercept is the value of y when x equals 0. So that's where you need to look for. Where does x equal 0? Then I want to find the slope. Oh, that marker died. I need to find the slope. And I do that by using, so I'm going to find m, my slope formula, and m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Okay, first thing I want to do is find b. I want to find that value of y when x equals 0. Let's see where x equals 0. Here it is. X equals 0 right there. So b equals -2. Now I'm going to find my slope. I need to label some points, and I'm going to label this as x2, x1. Those are my x values, y2, y1. Slope is going to be y2, 1 minus y1, 0 over 6 minus 4. And that is 1 over 2, so slope is 1/2. I'm ready to write my equation. Y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Alrighty. If I look over at this next table of values, I need to look for where x equals 0, and I don't see it. So let's see if I can figure out a pattern in my x values. Well, it starts over here at 5, and it goes down 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. So my suspicion is if I subtract 1, I'm going to get x equals 0. And if I'm in a linear equation, if I have a pattern in x, I should have a consistent pattern in y. Well, 13 minus 2 equals 11. 11 minus 2 equals 9. 9 minus 2 equals 7. 7 minus 2 equals 5. So if I subtract 2, should get this y value, and that is 3. So by using the pattern I see in this table, I know that when x equals 0, y equals 3. So b equals 3. Now I want to find my slope. And slope is the change in y. So that's here, y2, y1, 13 minus 11 over the change in x, x2, x1, 5 minus 4, which is 2 over 1, and I know that equals 2. So my equation is y equals 2x plus 3. Alrighty, next one. I'm given 2 ordered pairs. And remember, I'm looking for b, the value of y when x equals 0. There is b equals 5, because that's when x equals 0. But I do need to find my slope. x1, y1, x2, y2. 5 minus -7 over 0 minus 2. 5 minus -7 is like 5 plus 7, that's 12. 0 minus 2 is -2. 12 divided by -2 is -6. So my slope is -6. And putting this into my slope-intercept format, y equals -6x plus 5. Now these next 2 points are written in functional notation. Well, I know functional notation is just an ordered pair. This whole symbol means y equals. So y equals -7. And right in here is my x. Normally it says f of x. Well, f of x is 0. So this shows me the ordered pair 0, -7. Likewise, this is my x, 3, 1 for my y. So now I have two ordered pairs that look like that, a little more comfortable to use, and I can see there's where x equals 0, so b equals -7. I'm going to find my slope. I'm going to just write my points again so I can label x1, y1, x2, y2. Get my change. Slope equals 1 minus -7 over 3 minus 0. 1 minus -7 is like 1 plus 7. Keep change. And 3 minus 0 is 3. So my slope is 8/3, and my equation is y equals 8/3 x minus 7, because that's b. Okay, last part is writing equations of horizontal and vertical lines. And this is when you might want to remember HOY, horizontal, slope of 0 crosses the y-axis, and VUX, vertical, undefined slope, crosses the x-axis. So, if I have a slope of 0, horizontal line, and horizontal lines cross the y-axis, and it is a y equals the number. And the number you're going to have is right here, 2. Y equals -2. And that is a horizontal line. Let's look at this next one. Well, I have a lot of values for y, but I'm going to notice that my x is the same value. When x is the same value, if I'm thinking about slope, my denominator, the change in y over the change in x, is going to be 0. If I have 0 as a denominator, that is an undefined slope. It's a vertical line. And vertical lines are x equals a number, and that number is 3. Well, this is actually a nice horizontal line, slope of 0, and it's at 1, 2, 3. So y equals 3. And likewise, I've got a vertical line that's an x equals a number, and it's x at -1, -2, -2. So x equals -2. And that is it for this video. Thanks so much for listening. See ya.